Hello students, in this session we will see servo motors and also we will solve problems in signal flow graph. So let us consider this problem. So in this, the first step you know very well, we need to find the forward path. In this problem we have only one forward path, which is nothing but G1, G2, G3, G4. Okay, and then so I am naming it as P1. So transfer function is equal to 1 by del P1 del 1. The next step in the signal flow graph, we have to find out the individual loop. So individual loop, if you could see in this, this forms for one loop, that is G13 alone. So P11 is equal to G13, and then you have G7, G6, G8. So that will be equal to P22. Then G10 and G11 will be P33, and G7, G12 will be P44, and then G10, G9, G2 will be P55. Then your P66 will be G6, G11, G5, G3, and then the rectangular loop, that is G9, G2, G3, G5, G6 will be the last loop, which is P7. So we have 7 loops totally in this problem. So the next step which we are going to see is we are going to find out what are the non-touching loops. So if you could see here, I have named all the loops as P11, P422, P44, P33, P55, P7, and P66. So if you could see the we are going to see P11 and P44 are not touching with each other. So I am going to name it as P1, P4, which is nothing but G12, G7 and G13, which is given below. Okay, and then we are going to see the next non-touching loops, which is nothing but P11, P33, P. Okay, so it is P13, G10, G11, G13. And then we have one more two non-touching loops, which is nothing but P55. So P15 is equal to G2, G9, G10, G13. So that's it. And then we have to find for three non-touching loops. As there is no three non-touching loops, we are leaving it. Okay. So there is no three non-touching loops. Okay. Now determine the del. So for del, you know the formula. We have individual loops and also we have two non-touching loops. So we are going to rewrite the equation like this. So 1 minus P1 to P7 we are going to sum it, and also plus P14, P13, P15. So if you could substitute all the values, I'll be getting the equation like this. The del will be this one. Now we have to find out here del K. Now we have to find out here del K. Okay. So del K is equal to, so in del K, we will be finding out only del 1, because as we are having only one forward path. For this forward path, we have to check which loops are not touching with that path. So if you could see, only G12 and G7, the loop G13 is not touching. So I'm going to write that. And then G12, G7 is also not touching. Then G7, G5, G8 is not touching. You could see that in the figure. I have indicated with different colors. So I'll be writing all the three. And then you have to check for the two non-touching loops which is not touching with the forward path. I could say that G12, G7 and G13 are a non-touching loop. Okay, so which is not touching the forward path, that also I am writing here. So your formula becomes del 1 is equal to 1 minus P11, P22 plus P44 plus that two non-touching loops. So del 11 is equal to this. Okay, now what we are going to do is, we are going to substitute the same in our equation. Okay, so this is my transfer function. So this is my del 1 and this is my del, and P1 substitute everything. So this is my final transfer function. Okay, so the next which we are going to see is nothing but your servo systems. So servo system is nothing but is a controlled, the regulated, it is a load which can be controlled by position or speed or direction. Okay, So we have two types of servo system, DC servo and AC servo system. So DC servo will be using DC signal. So I'm going to give a desired angular position to the detector, and then the error detector gives signal to the amplifier. Then it goes to the power amplifier, which will turn give the signals to the motor. Then we will have the actual output, which is measured and given back as a feedback. Okay. So here I have a DC supply for the DC power. So now uh, uh, I'll explain the working of this. Let us consider I need a angular position of theta 1. So the input is given, so the motor rotates, but the measured angle output is theta 2. So it is given as a feedback and it is given back to the error detector. Now the error detector detects the error and it is given to the amplifier, which in turn gives to the power amplifier, and the motor will be run again. Still it gets theta 1. So this is your DC servo systems. Okay. Now we have two types in that. One is armature control DC servo motors, field control. So armature control, field is constant, armature voltage will be varied, armature voltages will be constant and field is varied in your field control. So this is my shunt motor, you know very well, which you would have seen in your, learned in your electrical machines one. So here I am going to connect the motor with the load of inertia J, because as it is rotational low motor, I am going to connect a rotational load. So inertia will be J and frictional coefficient is B. Now Vs will be the supply voltage, Vf will be the field voltage, and If will be field current, because these are the parameter which we are going to see, okay, in field control motor. So Rf is field resistance in ohm, Lf is field inductance in Henry, Va is armature voltage in V, and Ia will be armature current in A, then your armature resistance. Then La will be your armature inductance, theta is angular displacement, moment of inertia J, B frictional coefficient, Eb back EMF, T is torque developed, Kb will be back EMF constant and Kt will be torque constant. Now you have to remember for a shunt motor, torque is proportional to Ia. So when I am giving a constant, let me name it as Kt is Kt into Ia. And then you also know that the back EMF is proportional to d theta by dt, which is nothing but your omega. So I could write it as Kb into omega, a constant. Okay. Now in armature control DC motor, we could apply the KVL when we can write it as VA is equal to IA into RA plus LA into DI by dt plus EB. So take the Laplace transformation, you will be getting the equation like this. In this equation, you take your IA of S outside such that IA of S is equal to VA of S minus EB of S divided by the RA plus LA into S. You know very well EB is equal to KB into S into theta of S. Now you also know that torque is equal to J into d square theta by dt square plus B into d theta by dt. For the same, I am going to take the Laplace transformation. So you will be getting J square plus BS into theta of S equal to TS. So J square plus BS into theta of S equal to T of S, which is equal to KT into IA of S. So this is my IA of S. So now having all the equations, so you will be having the equations like this. In this, take the first equation, that is voltage equation. In the voltage equation, instead of the current, you substitute Js square plus Bs by Kt, and instead of Eb, you substitute Kb into S into theta of S. So you will be getting Va of S like this. So in this, you know the transfer function is nothing but the output by input. Here the input is armature voltage and the output will be the angular displacement. So theta by Va will be the transfer function. So theta by Va is equal to this one. By taking the LCM, I am writing this. Okay. So for finding out the block diagram, I have I am just going to write the equation first, and then I'm going to write I'm going to draw the block diagrams separately. I'm going to draw. So first for the IA of S, I'm going to draw. So you know very well VA is the input, so I'm giving VA here, and EB is your back EMF, so it is nothing but the measured voltage. So I am giving here in the error detector. So I'll be getting VA minus EB. So I need to get IA, that's my output. So now, so in this block I could write 1 divided by RA plus LA from that equation. Okay. Now you know very well EB is equal to KB into d theta by dt. So EB of S is equal to KB in S into theta of S. So theta of S, if it is multiplied by KB of S, you will be getting EB. And then you also know that A is equal to KT into IA. So you know very well if T of IA of S is multiplied with 1 KT, you will be getting T of S. Okay. And also for the load, this is my load equation. So if I am multiplying the uh, torque with 1 by Js square Bs plus Bs will be your theta of S. Okay. So this is the block for my load. Now combining all the blocks, after EB of S, I'll be getting my IA of S. So after IA of S, I need to get my torque. So I'm writing the torque and drawing the block. After torque, the output, that is nothing but my theta. So this is my block. From the theta, it is measured with, which is nothing but EB, so KB of it. So this is my block diagram and the transfer function for a armature control DC motor. Now for the field control DC motor, we are going to see. So for the field control, we are going to analyze only the field parameters. So if you could write the equation for this branch, I could write it as IF into RF plus LF into DF by DT is equal to VF. There is no back EMF. So taking the Laplace transformation, I'll be getting like this. So I of S is equal to V of S into divided by RF plus LF of S. So I could write V of S multiplied with this block, I'll be getting I of S. Then you know very well about your torque and the load. So I have written the torque and the load, which is same as your armature control DC motor. Now V of S is my input and I have to get then your I of S. I have to get theta as the output. So I of S, after that I'll be having T of S, after that theta of S. So this is my block diagram and this is my transfer function. This is your field control DC motor. So now we'll move on to AC servo system, which is nothing, which is going to use your AC signal. So I'll have an input, then error detector, then AC amplifier, then AC power amplifier, then AC servo motor, and a feedback. So I could replace everything. So I'll be having a control one. The working will be same as your DC servo motor. You'll be having your control winding with a rotor which is connected with J and B, and then you will have a reference winding. In the control winding, I'll be having my amplifier and the modulator which will be connected with the reference winding. So now EC is the control signal, TM is torque developed by the motor, TL load torque, J moment of inertia, B frictional coefficient. So TM is given by KC minus K into d theta by dt. And you know very well that load torque is given by the J into d square theta by dt square plus B into d theta by dt. So at equilibrium, you need to get motor torque equal to load torque. So having all that in mind, I'm going to equate these two things and I'm going to take my LCM. From this, I could write theta by EC is equal to KC by J square plus BS plus KS. Okay. So in this, you just take your S outside. So you'll be getting KC S into B plus K outside. So you'll be getting like this. Now, so for the motor gain constant, Km is equal to Kc by B plus K, and torque motor time constant, it is J by B plus K. So theta of S is equal to Km divided by S into tau ms plus 1. So students, complete the assignment which is uploaded in the Moodle.